Hey, what's up everybody? Video 44 coming at you in another video. Alright, so I've been all on my spiritualist talk and talking about a lot of different things, but I know of a movie that is coming out that I think will help people understand what it is I've been doing. And it's called Dumb Money. And a lot of y'all have seen my Apes rants and have also heard me talk about AMC a lot and GME a lot, and how all of the stuff that I've gone through has kind of basically been about me not handling that for which is my responsibility as an ape correctly. And I'll be the first one to tell anybody, both hedgies and apes, that I didn't handle my business correctly. And now part of why I'm in my situation is not just that I'm an ape, but also that I'm somebody who tried to over leverage myself. No different than the hedgies. I over leveraged myself. Maybe I'm different than the hedgies, but just the same. It's over leveraging. Went in too far, did too much, trying to do too much for the right reasons for myself. But nevertheless, it is what it is. It doesn't work when you do it that way. That movie is coming out tomorrow. Now, I don't know how they're going to, I think it comes out tomorrow. Pretty sure it comes out Friday. I think that's what's happening. Either way, Adam Aaron just released a tweet. He had been quiet for a little while after the stock split, for which I didn't necessarily agree with. However, I am strong enough of an ape to understand that if you're doing exactly what you're supposed to do, that stock split probably doesn't hurt you as much as it maybe hurt me for over leveraging. But nevertheless, that didn't help us. But he's promoting a movie, and it just prompted me to tell you guys that it's coming out. Now, like I said, I don't know how they're going to depict us. I don't know if I'm going to be pleased with how things go, or if they're going to tell my truth as it pertains to what I think is going on or what I've known to be going on. But what I can say is it's going to raise awareness of what it is that I've been talking about here, so that you guys know I didn't make this up, or that I'm not just doing something by myself. This is a whole movement of people who've been in this play for, you know, however long they've been. Myself, I've been in the play since right before the buy button was taken away. As you guys know, I was actually wide awake when they took the buy button away. I saw the buy button disappear from my Robinhood account about 6:10 in the morning. I'm sitting there like, okay, it's gonna take off today, because it started taking off yesterday, and all of a sudden they took the buy button away, and they told you guys, told all of us basically, that we had the right to sell our position, but we couldn't necessarily do anything else with it. You certainly couldn't buy any more as the price dropped to hell. They were encouraging us to sell. So of course, in that situation, I was an ape. I was the birth that day, and then I found out about the movement thereafter. I was just spiteful. I was like, oh, hell no, y'all ain't about to just do this to us. This ain't legal. And I actually, in real time, if I'm not mistaken, after the buy button was taken away and that little crap was popped on the screen saying you have the right to sell but not a right to buy, or something of that nature, I was the first person on Facebook that I knew of to put it in my story. I was like, I know this isn't legal. This is not legal. And I put it in my story, the steal that I had taken from the situation. So I'm a real one. I'm an actual ape, somebody who's been it the whole time. I should have bought some GME shares right before that little mini squeeze. I should have. I knew I should have, but I didn't know of the movement. I didn't know what it was. I just thought, you know, it's taking off. And someone told me, yo, AMC is going to do the same thing. And somehow I found that information out. I don't remember how. It's been 3 years. But nevertheless, the movie's coming out on our movement, man. It's going to speak on the apes. It's going to speak on more so the GME side of things. What took place right before the AMC situation is what I'm expecting to see. Hell, what's his name? Roaring Kitty, the guy who initially had the thesis on what it is that the short squeeze thesis was all about, which is much more in detail than what it is I can share with you right now. But essentially, if we all hold our shares and continue to buy versus those hedgies on the other side who are over leveraging and naked short selling and all of that, ultimately we would cause a potential squeeze. Now, I didn't guarantee that it was going to happen, but it did. It was a thesis. That was the thesis. And so I think that's what the movie's covering, but I'm not sure exactly all that the movie's covering. But I know the focus is the GME side of things, which is GameStop, for those who are wondering. So I just want to encourage people to go check it out, because you will see exactly what it is I'm talking about, or at least understand the origin of what the apes are about, for which I am. So yeah, Dumb Money is the name of the movie. And I don't know if I'm going to go see it in the theater, because I haven't been to the theater in years, and I'm on this side of town. I'm trying to save money. It's a lot of different things that cater to me probably not seeing the movie till it comes out digitally. But nevertheless, I do want to encourage everybody who's curious to know what we're going through and what we've been doing, or curious to know if they should enter themselves into the equation as an ape. I think the movie may depict enough of the truth to give you an understanding of what it is that we've been going through and what it is we're trying to do. The movement is not over. For those of us who have been told a million different ways that this thing is over, it is not. We've come to understand that trillions of dollars have been stolen from all of the world in regards to this very thing. And if you understand what money can connect to when you talk about trillions of dollars, you understand that it's not too much that isn't affected by this. So you got to know what's going on, especially if you're in this country, because I'm of the mindset that this could cause something much worse in regards to people becoming aware of what these American hedge funds have done. You know, and how it trickles down to some of the stuff that's going on around the world, and how certain things that are not right can still be reinforced and in place because of the fact that this much money is being stolen and this much money is being duplicated out of nothing, literal nothingness. You know, imagine me selling the same property to 8 different people at like 8 different prices. You know what I mean? That's kind of what they're doing. So I just want people to understand what it is we're about. I've been talking about it in every Apes rant I've put on this channel. I've talked about it in many therapy sessions and the ills of trying to do this for myself, and how hard it's been, and how much sacrificing I've done to be a part of this movement, and how much praying I've done, and how many confirmations from my own prayers that have come to me to tell me to continue to do this. Even now, I'm still trying my very best to hold shares. I prayed about it, in fact, 10 minutes ago. I'm like, Lord, should I be selling shares to fix my situation? And the energy that came to me is absolutely not. No, we are apes. We are standing strong. And even though we made some mistakes in this movement, being in this movement is not a mistake for myself. So I'm not encouraging anybody to buy, hold, or sell anything, because that would be illegal. But I am telling you that I've dedicated my entire last 3 years, and a good portion of what it is that I've lost, it's been because I've been trying to hold these shares, if not everything that I've lost. Everything that I've lost. And so that's what I want people to understand. I'm standing on something that I believe in. I don't think it's the most important cause in the world. It's just the one that I can attach myself to organically, by way of what has happened in that circumstance that I referred to. And then from there, understanding what it is that others are involved in, people from all over the world. And I can tell you, you know, they have people who've been in this position as long as I have, or people who started being in this position, who knows if they stayed or not, but as long as I have, and they were from different countries. You know, the first couple of days of understanding what this was about, I was communicating with people in Denmark, people in Australia, some dude in France, who are all been holding shares this long. So I want people to understand that, in my mind, this is something that can affect the entire world going forward too, because it's not just Americans that these American hedge funds have done this to. It's people who are apes all over the world, who are waiting for their day, who are hoping to see change in the circumstance. So I think it's important that all Americans, specifically us, know what's going on, so that if this does cause some type of drama in the future in regards to our relationships with other countries, that we're not confused and we're not allowing ourselves to stand on the wrong side of this thing. Because at the end of the day, there are a lot of American people who do not support stealing from the world's economy, especially since we're not benefiting from it anyway. If anything, we too have been stolen from. So that's what I want to let all my apes all over the world know. I am not okay with what those American hedge funds are doing, and I do believe that it's not only American hedge funds who are in cahoots with this. When you talk about that much money, everything is affected to some degree. So that's what I want to say, man. Trillions, not billions. A lot of people don't even know it's $1 trillion in the world, but trust you me, there are people stealing trillions of dollars or manifesting more money out of nothing. Talk about inflation. This is what causes inflation. Whatever they're telling you causes inflation may contribute to it, but this is what's actually doing it in this modern era. It's the over-leveraging of those individuals in the stock market manifesting money out of nothing. The very definition of what ultimately will inflate your economy's circumstance. So that's what I'm telling people, man. Be aware of what dumb money is going to tell us. Like I said, I don't know how they're going to depict us. Maybe the apes will be happy after we see it. Maybe we don't. We won't be, because obviously who funds the money to make the movie? Who knows? For all I know, that's also money taken from, you know, funded by the hedge funds. I don't know. But what I'm telling you is they are raising awareness to what it is that ultimately we're doing. And I think that that can be a positive thing if depicted properly. So that's what I'm telling y'all, man. And remember what I said about prayers being prayed. Prayers have already been prayed. You know, I'm one of them spiritual people. If you saw my last video, you know how spiritual I believe myself to be. God had told me more than 100 times to be a part of this. Now, maybe not to the degree I was. If I would have prayed a little more, maybe he could have kept me from some of the ills of this circumstance. But nevertheless, is this something that he's a part of, that he has plans for? Yes, I believe so. Very much so. Now, maybe not the plans I want. Maybe he ain't going to squeeze it when I want it to be squeezed, or maybe I don't get the money I want to get, or who knows, whatever. But the point is, I think for the betterment of the world, there are plans for this movement that can help us not make the mistakes that those hedge funds made, or the mistakes of over-leveraging yourself like I did, but also to know that, you know, that we are not alone in this battle. If you're an ape in America, you are not alone in this battle. If you're an ape all over the world, not Americans are not, you know, Americans are not in support of stealing your money from you. So that's what I hope the movie can ultimately depict us as individuals who intend to not only stop these guys from doing that, but hopefully deter others from ever doing it in the future. So that's what I gotta say, man. Go check out Dumb Money if you got an opportunity to, and hopefully you enjoy what you see there. Hopefully it'll educate you if you're not already educated on this movement, and hopefully you'll know what your responsibility is from there. That's pretty much what I have to say about that. My name is BDL44. I thank you all for watching. Wow.